very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. My name is Aishwarya and here are the headlines. MHA warning for thunderstorms, squall, hail and heavy rains today in 13 states and 2 union territories. Schools in Haryana shut today and tomorrow as a precautionary measure. Efforts on to secure release of 7 Indian engineers abducted by the Taliban in Afghanistan's Baghlan province. Gunmen apparently mistook engineers for government employees. Time up for Congress in Karnataka, says Prime Minister Modi as he addresses 4 rallies in the state. Calls it a deal party that plays a divisive vote bank politics. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah accuses Prime Minister of polarizing people. 4 more days left for the campaign. Vice President Naidu in Guatemala on a first leg of a 3-nation Latin America tour. Discussions on IT, space, science and technology and defense with top leadership there during highest ever official visit from either side. And size of India's economy can double in a decade if it maintains a current momentum, says the Asian Development Bank. Adds the country's projected GDP growth of over 7% is amazingly fast and must focus on increasing domestic demand. Our top focus this morning, there is a warning for 13 states and 2 union territories for thunderstorms, squall, hail and heavy rains. On Sunday morning, the Home Ministry issued the alert for today and tomorrow. Now, quoting IMD, the ministry said that a thunderstorm accompanied with squall and hail are likely at isolated places over Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh, while a thunderstorm accompanied with gusty winds are likely at isolated places in Uttarakhand and Punjab. It added that heavy rains are also likely at isolated places over Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura. MHA further said that a thunderstorm accompanied with the gusty winds are very likely at isolated places over Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi and western Uttar Pradesh.
With respect to all these 5 atmospheric conditions, next 3 days में अगर हम देखते हैं, हम आपको ग्राफिक दिखाते हैं, तो वेस्टर्न हिमालयन रीजन, जम्मू कश्मीर, हिमाचल प्रदेश, उत्तराखंड और उसके साथ में जो प्लेन्स हैं पंजाब, हरियाणा एंड वेस्ट यूपी, यहाँ पर जो पर्वतीय क्षेत्र है वहाँ पर थंडर स्क्वेल अलॉन्ग विद हेल एंड जो आपके मैदानी भाग हैं वहाँ पर थंडर स्टॉर्म्स विद गस्टी विंड, तेज हवाओं के साथ होने की प्रोबेबिलिटी अगले 3 दिन तक है.
And the alert comes after 124 people died and over 300 were injured in thunderstorms and lightning that hit 5 states last week. And view of the warning, schools have already been shut in the state of Haryana. The schools will remain closed today and tomorrow in the state. All departments in Haryana have been directed to stay alert. Meanwhile, 7 persons were injured and about 200 houses were collapsed in a storm in Nadia district in West Bengal. The storm, with a speed of about 90 to 100 km per hour, lashed Rana Ghat and Krishnanagar.
आने वाले दिनों में भी जो बारिश होगी, एक और वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस है जो कि ईरान के ऊपर है, ईरान और आसपास के इलाकों पे है, जिसका इफेक्ट हिमाचल प्रदेश के जो अगले 2-3 दिन में हो सकता है. 7 और 8 तारीख को हिमाचल प्रदेश के जो बहुत सारे इलाके हैं वहाँ पे बारिश हो सकती है और जो मिड हिल्स और लो हिल्स वाले इलाके हैं वहाँ पे ओलावृष्टि और तेज़ हवाएं चल सकती हैं, जिसकी जो ऑलरेडी वार्निंग इशू की गई है. तो अगले हम ये कह सकते हैं 3 दिन जो है हिमाचल प्रदेश में बारिश रहेगी और ओलावृष्टि तेज़ हवाएं की वार्निंग इशू की गई. जो अलर्ट इशू किया गया है ये खास करके जो हेल स्टॉर्म और जो थंडर शावर होंगे, तेज़ हवाएं चलेंगी, उसके लिए किया गया है.
And now let's get you all the news and updates from the pole-bound Karnataka. Well, 4 more days are left for campaigning to end in Karnataka, and polling, remember, is going to take place on 12th of May. Prime Minister Modi will be interacting with the Karnataka BJP Yuva Morcha Karyakartas via the Namo app today. The Prime Minister had in a tweet message earlier said that the young and energetic party workers are doing a commendable job at the grassroots levels and popularizing the work done by the central government. Last week, the Prime Minister had addressed the women BJP workers in the state through his Namo app. And Prime Minister Modi will address 4 rallies in the state on Sunday. He campaigned in Chitradurga, Raichur and Hubli in the north of the state. Launching a scathing attack on the Congress party, the Prime Minister said that the state will bid farewell to the party that has not bothered about the state's welfare. He termed the Congress party a deal party that cannot be saved now. The Prime Minister also accused the party of playing vote bank politics and adopting a divide and rule policy. He said that the party makes false promises and has no agenda apart from abusing him.
विराम मडकरी और ओन के ओवव्वा उसको तो भुला दिया गया, लेकिन वोट बैंक की राजनीति के खातर सुल्तानों की जयंती मनाने में लगे पड़े हैं। अब कांग्रेस पार्टी ने दलितों में भ्रम फैलाना, दलितों में झूठ फैलाना एक बहुत बड़ा अभियान चलाया हुआ है। रायचूर का ये उमंग, ये उत्साह एयर कंडीशन कमरों में बैठ करके जो हंग असेंबली की बातें करते हैं, उनको ये करारा जवाब दे रहे हैं लोग।
The Prime Minister countered, in fact, he countered the welfare steps taken by the central government and said that irrigation and drinking water will be the priority when B.S. Yediyurappa comes to power in the state. The Prime Minister also assured that the suffering that the farmers undergo will end when the BJP comes to power in the state. He also assured assistance to the weavers community.
इस चुनाव में कांग्रेस पार्टी उसका 5 साल का कच्चा चिट्ठा ये खोलने की जरूरत है। कांग्रेस के नेताओं से पल पल का पाई का हिसाब मांगने का वक्त है। कांग्रेस के नेता भाजपा को बार बार सवाल पूछते रहते हैं, रोज नए सवाल पूछते रहते हैं। हमारा सपना है न्यू इंडिया का, हमारा सपना है न्यू कर्नाटका का। 2022 आजादी के 75 साल हो, देश को एक नई ऊंचाइयों पर ले जाने के लिए हम निकल पड़े हैं भाइयों। आज अगर देशभक्ति के द्वारा विकास पे जाने का अगर हम महाआंदोलन खड़ा करते हैं, तो कांग्रेस पार्टी के और उनके कुछ आसपास के साथीदारों को देशभक्ति में ही कुछ बुरी बू आने लग जाती है और देशभक्ति से भी उनको सुन करके बुखार आने लग जाता है।
And Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah countered the Prime Minister's attack, saying it is the Prime Minister who's trying to polarize people with his comments on vote bank politics. Now, taking to Twitter, he said that his government has not differentiated while celebrating anniversaries of any leader or any saint. He also said that the Prime Minister should stop indulging in personal attacks and speaking in a language that does not come of him. The Chief Minister also said that the BJP is heavily dependent on the Prime Minister for campaigning ahead of the 12th of May polls. The Congress party attacked the BJP's leadership in Karnataka, calling it corrupt.
The entire BJP leadership in Karnataka, starting with Shri B.S. Yediyurappa, is mired and is facing corruption cases. From B.S. Yediyurappa to Shri Ramallu, from T.H. Babu to Somashekar Reddy and to the entire top 10, they read like Karnataka's who and who for prevention of corruption cases. So it's a classical case of pot calling the kettle black.
And Congress President Rahul Gandhi will begin the 9th phase of his campaign in Karnataka today. He will move to south of Karnataka and Bangalore and campaign there from today till the 10th of May. The Congress President has covered almost all the zones in the state in the 8th phase of his campaign over the past 3 months. All right, let's go across to my colleague Kriti Mishra, who's joining us live from Varuna constituency. A very good morning, Kriti. So we are seeing as the campaigning is almost ending its last phase today, VIPs, all of them thronging Karnataka as the campaigning reaches a crescendo. We understand that UP Chairperson Sonia Gandhi will also address election rallies.
Well, Aishwarya, allegations and counter-allegations are flying thick and fast in the run-up to Karnataka elections. This is a make or mar elections for the Congress party because remember, after Punjab, Karnataka is the only second large state where the Congress is in power, and it is pulling out all stops to retain power in the state. In fact, former Congress President Sonia Gandhi will also campaign in the state on 8th of May in Bijapur. That is coming after almost a gap of 2 years. Yes. Well, for the BJP, it is banking heavily on the charisma of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The party has exuded confidence that with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi as the campaigner and BJP President Amit Shah as the strategist, the party would be able to cross the threshold of Karnataka for expansion in South India. And we've also seen JDS upping the ante against these two parties on several occasions. Remember, Aishwarya, that Karnataka has not voted the ruling party back in power in almost 3 decades now, but it also has a trend of bucking the national trend that is in vogue. So certainly a very high stakes battle, and expect the war of words to further intensify in coming days. Aishwarya?
Absolutely. And since you are in Varuna constituency, Kriti, tell us more about the mood here. Because, of course, we are not going to witness the first sons of Karnataka politics taking on each other in this seat. But, of course, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's younger son, Yatindra, is making his political debut in these elections. So, how's the mood here?
Well, Aishwarya, that's right. We had expected a clash of sons of two aspiring chief ministers in 2018, B.S. Yediyurappa and Siddaramaiah. But the BJP did not field the son of Yediyurappa, Vijendra from Varuna, saying that it is against the concept of dynastic politics. But Yatindra, who's a political novice, has been fielded by the Congress party. Here, of course, Yatindra had to take a political plunge after the untimely demise of his elder brother Rakesh in 2016. The Congress party had followed the rule of one family, one ticket in Uttarakhand as well as in Punjab. But here, winnability of the candidate has been the criteria as far as ticket distribution is concerned. Of course, Varuna was Siddaramaiah's seat. He used to contest elections after the delimitation and moved on from Chamundeshwari to Varuna. It remains to be seen if this step reaps political benefit for the Congress party in the coming days. Aishwarya?
Right. Thank you so much, Kriti, for all those updates there from Varuna constituency in Karnataka. Meanwhile, here is our special report. And Mandya district is known as the sugar bowl of Karnataka. But the farmers, upset over growing debt, have decided to revive a farmers' movement in the run-up to the assembly elections on 12th of May. Now, considered as the epicenter of Karnataka's farmer movement, Mandya has seen about 200 farmers committing suicide in the last 2 years. Here is our special report.
Grief overcomes Puttama every time her son Narayanappa is mentioned. Unable to pay off his debt, the 48-year-old farmer from Pandapur village committed suicide. Narayanappa had taken a loan of 4 lakh rupees from banks and money lenders. But lack of rains destroyed the crops.
ಸಾಲ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟ ಬೆಳೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಆತ್ಮಹತ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಕ್ಕನಪ್ಪ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಆತ್ಮಹತ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಿಂಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕೈ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ ನಾವು 3 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು.
Mandya district is the sugar bowl of Karnataka. With abundant irrigation from River Kaveri and the Krishnaraj Sagar Dam, it was once home to rich farmers who had the wherewithal to survive the vagaries of weather. But in the last 3 years, Mandya has been swept by a spate of farmer suicides. Mounting debt, crop losses and delayed payment by sugar factories have left the farmers nothing but debts.
वो किसानों को बहुत समस्या है, उसको वो पानी नहीं है, बारिश नहीं है, वो मेरा ये किसान करने का वो पैसा नहीं आएगा ना, आत्महत्या कर दिया ना। कर्नाटक में बहुत पानी है नहीं, और शादी करने को पैसे नहीं है और बेटी का। और मेरा ये घर से, मेरा गांव से, ये सब किसान को बहुत मुश्किल है।
The state government's decision to waive 8,165 crore rupees worth of farm loans taken from cooperative banks did not include public sector nationalized banks. The state government's loan waiver has triggered a war of words between the Congress and the BJP, with the Congress government insisting that loans taken from public sector banks be waived off by the centre.
What Siddaramaiah government did it, number one, waived the loan on the advice of the Congress President Rahul Gandhi, 8,125 crores waived, 50,000 from the cooperative banks, each farmer, about 22 lakh farmers of Karnataka benefited. When 12 years of drought faced by the Karnataka state, what has central government has done?
There is no question about the fact that this government of Mr. Siddaramaiah has had a very lackadaisical, lazy, almost bordering on apathetic approach towards problems of the farmers. They have, in a sense, he has been in a sense silent bystander.
More than 90% of the district's population is engaged in agriculture and is dependent on rainfall and water reserves. The water scarcity has reduced sugarcane production by over 70%, adding to farmers' woes.
Monthly income of an average farming family in Karnataka is around 9,000 rupees. But the outstanding loan touches 97,000 rupees. Distressed farmers are forced to take extreme steps. Elections will come and go. Parties will win or lose. But this issue needs immediate attention. Reporting from Madhya with camera person Yogesh Agarwal, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
On to the other top story of the day. Asian Development Bank's chief economist Yasuyuki Sawada has said that India's growth in 2018 would pick up to 7.3%. The bank has projected India to remain the fastest growing Asian nation with a 7.3% growth in 2018-19 and 7.6% in 2019-20. ADB chief said that India's projected GDP growth of over 7% for the current fiscal is amazingly fast. And if this momentum is maintained, the size of the economy can double within a decade. He added that the country should not worry about achieving 8% growth, but focus on increasing domestic demand by reducing the income inequality. He further said that the growth is driven more by domestic consumption than exports. Meanwhile, the Niti Aayog has sought World Bank's assistance to provide it with information and expertise for the detection and prevention of fraud in the centre's ambitious Ayushman Bharat health scheme. It added that the World Bank assistance is being taken as it has the expertise from its international experience. Niti Aayog has reportedly said that the World Bank by May 15 is likely to submit a report on how other countries where such health insurance mechanism is in place ensures that there is no fraud or corruption under the scheme. The centrally sponsored scheme, Ayushman Bharat National Health Protection Mission, will provide a coverage of 5 lakh rupees to 10 crore poorest families of the country. On to some other news now. Nearly 12,066 acres of surplus land of railways are now up for grabs. The Railways has written to 13 states asking them to either buy or exchange these land parcels for developmental projects. A letter written by the Railways Board last month to the Chief Secretaries of West Bengal, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Jharkhand, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Chhattisgarh and Assam stated that they send in proposals to use these land parcels which have remained unused. Railways also said that most of these land parcels were acquired by it as part of its uni-gauge policy to improve connectivity. According to the details of the land parcels enclosed in the letter, Railways is in possession of some land in Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra and Assam for more than 100 years. Now, PTI is quoting sources as saying that Railways is set to earn thousands of crores if the state governments decide to utilize the land earmarked in their areas. And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu will today hold talks with the top leadership of Guatemala to boost ties in areas such as trade and information technology. Earlier on Sunday, Naidu was given a guard of honor after landing in Guatemala. The visit seeks a cooperation in strategic areas including space, telematic tracking, satellite fabrication, science and technology, including biotechnology. This is Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu's maiden foreign visit after assuming office. The visit will also take him to Panama and Peru. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in Guatemala as part of his three-nation visit to Latin America. The Vice President was received at the airport on Sunday by the Foreign Minister of Guatemala, Sandra Jovel, and the Ambassador of India to Guatemala, Sanjeev Babu Kurup. He inspected a guard of honor on his arrival in Guatemala City. Upon his arrival, the Vice President tweeted, "I am honored to be the first high-level dignitary to visit this beautiful country and the largest economy in the Central America. I brought with me smiles and good wishes from billions of Indians to Guatemalan brothers and sisters." The visit of Vice President is the highest ever from either side. Today, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu will be calling on President of the country, Jimmy Morales, and the Vice President, Jafe Cabrera Franco. A range of bilateral issues, including the strengthening of institutional mechanism for political interactions, multilateral matters, trade and commerce, investments, information technology, capacity building, traditional medicines, space, defense and culture are expected to be discussed. This will be followed by signing of agreements. Later in the day, the Vice President will also interact with the Indian community members in Guatemala City. Vice President Naidu is on a 5-day visit to Latin America's Guatemala, Peru and Panama. This is the Vice President's first overseas visit after assuming office last year.
Vice President of India's visit to Guatemala is expected to increase India's engagement with Central American countries. It is also expected to increase cooperation on fields like hydrocarbons, wildlife protection and biodiversity and ecological protection. With camera person Prashant, I am Rajkumar Rao, Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, in fact, Rajkumar Rao is now joining us live from Guatemala City. Rajkumar, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu is going to hold talks with the top leadership of Guatemala today, and these will be on boosting ties in several areas such as trade, information technology, and we understand that there will be a signing of agreements as well. Tell us more, what can you expect through the day today?
See, it's going to be a very busy day for the first official visit, a foreign visit of Vice President of India, Mr. M. Venkaiah Naidu in Guatemala City. He will be meeting the high-level delegation, as you have mentioned. He will be first calling on the President, and then he will have a one-on-one meeting with the Vice President before the delegation signs off MOUs on crucial areas like protecting biodiversity and wildlife protection, and in areas of education and extending cooperation on ITEC, which is Information Technology and Economic Cooperation Front, which has already been in process. And this visit will enhance India's bid to engage more in Central American region. India has been engaging with the Central American countries, but this kind of first highest visit will ensure the Central American countries that India is always ready to extend their hand of support and also seek mutual cooperation on crucial matters. Remember, Guatemala has already supported India's membership at the UNSC, and they have a fractured relationship with both China and Pakistan as we have. So this kind of visit will not only strengthen the partnership at the government-to-government level and also on the people-to-people contact. Vice President will personally be interacting with Indians who have settled in Guatemala. They are a very small number, but at the gathering, Vice President will be extending India's support to people who are living here, who are doing businesses, running malls, and it will be a friendly, cordial visit which is going to be remembered forever.
All right. Thank you so much for all those updates there from Guatemala City, Rajkumar. We'll keep coming back to you in the subsequent bulletins. And now news from Afghanistan. 7 Indian engineers of RPG Group company have been abducted and they were working on a power plant in Baghlan province in North Afghanistan. They were abducted on Sunday by Taliban gunmen who apparently mistook them for government employees. Baghlan province governor Abdul Hai Nemati said that the Taliban group took the engineers as hostage and moved them to Dande Shahabuddin area of Pul-e-Khomni city. He added that the Afghan authorities spoke with the Taliban via local people and that they were trying to get the abductees released through tribe elders and mediation. The External Affairs Ministry says that it is in touch with the authorities in Afghanistan and also ascertaining the details of the incident. Earlier, the chairman of RPG Enterprises, Harsh Goenka, tweeted requesting External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj to help rescue its employees. And in Jammu and Kashmir, 5 militants have been killed in an encounter in Kashmir's Shopian district on Sunday. 5 protesters were also killed, about 50 others injured in clashes with the security forces during and after the encounter. The militants include top Hizbul Mujahideen militant and Burhan Wani's associate Saddam Patder and Dr. Mohammad Rafi, who had been gone missing only a couple of days ago. He was Kashmir University's assistant professor in sociology. The slain militants earlier refused to surrender as the announcement were made on loudspeakers by the police in the area. The fierce gunfight between militants and the joint team of Army, Jammu and Kashmir Police and CRPF continued for 7 hours. The protesters intercepted the vehicles of fire and emergency department and set them ablaze. 3 security personnel also sustained injuries during the encounter and they were undergoing treatment at a hospital. The mobile internet services have been suspended in Shopia and Pulwama districts. And big story coming in from Pakistan. The country's Interior Minister Ahsan Iqbal was shot at and injured in a suspected assassination bid after he addressed a rally in Pakistan's Punjab province on Sunday. Iqbal was hit by a bullet on his right shoulder in the attack in his native Narowal's Kanjurul Tehsil after he addressed a rally. His condition is stated to be out of danger. The attacker, who was arrested after he was about to shoot a second shot, has been identified as a 21-year-old Abid Hussain belonging to Tehreek-e-Labaik, and Punjab Chief Minister Shahbaz Sharif described the incident as an assassination attempt. Our big international focus, Iran has warned US that abandoning nuclear deal with Tehran would be a historic mistake. In a televised speech, President Hassan Rouhani said that Iran had plans for whatever decision is made by Trump and that when it comes to weapons and defending our country, we will not negotiate with anybody. His comments come days before the 12th of May deadline for Donald Trump to decide whether or not to continue waiving sanctions on Iraq that were lifted under the deal formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Under US law, the president has to recertify the agreement every 3 months. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu kept up his campaigning against the deal on Sunday, saying that the deal was based on a fictitious Iranian report to the International Atomic Energy Agency. Remember the 2015 deal between Iran, the US, China, Russia, Germany, France and the UK lifted sanctions on Iran in return for curbs on its nuclear program. And Russian President Vladimir Putin will be inaugurated today as he takes office as the President of the Russian Federation for the 4th time. Putin had won re-election overwhelmingly in the month of March, extending his grip over Russia for 6 more years, a tenure of 24 years that would make him Moscow's longest-serving leader since Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin. According to the final vote count, incumbent head of state Vladimir Putin won by a landslide, garnering 76.69% of the vote. Remember, Putin has been in power either as a president or prime minister since the year 2000. Meanwhile, ahead of the inauguration, opposition leader Alexei Navalny and around 1,600 anti-Kremlin activists were detained by the police during street protests against Putin. And on Sunday, Navalny said on Twitter that he had been released by the police pending court. And that's it from me and my team in this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day ahead.